Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international conference on animal, veterinary, medical, health sciences, well-being, animal rights, advocacy, protection, conservation, environment, ecosystems, disaster management, rehabilitation, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. And those who would like to make presentations have registered for the presentations are kindly requested to share their details in the chat box as and when we open up for the sessions for the presentations. We'll be inviting you as per the information shared in the chat box. So kindly share your details in chat box. Only presenters are requested to share your details as per shown on the screen and mark your presence. And today is the last day. So we request everyone to utilize this opportunity. If anyone have registered for presentations. So we'll move on to today's commemorations. Today is commemorated as International Day of Care and Support on 29th October every year. The global care workforce comprises 249 million women and 132 million men. By 2030, the number of care recipients is predicted to reach 2.3 billion, driven by an additional 0.1 billion older persons and an additional 0.1 billion children aged 6 to 14 years. So women perform 76.2% of the total amount of unpaid care work, 3.2 times more than men. So when we look at the care economy, care work, both paid and unpaid, is crucial to the future of decent work. Growing populations, aging societies, changing families, women's secondary status in labor markets, and shortcomings in social policies demand urgent action on the organization of care work from current deficits in care service provisions and its quality will create a severe and unsustainable global care crisis and increase gender inequalities at work. So, care work consists of two overlapping activities: direct personal and relational care activities such as feeding a baby or nursing an ill partner, and an indirect care activities such as cooking and cleaning. Unpaid care work is care work provided without a monetary reward by unpaid carers. Unpaid care is considered as work and is thus a crucial dimension of the world of work. Paid care work is performed for pay or profit by care workers. They comprise a wide range of personal service workers, such as nurses, teachers, doctors, and personal care workers. Domestic workers who provide both direct and indirect care in households are also part of the care workforce. The care economy is growing as the demand for child care and care for the elderly is increasing in all regions. It will thus create a great number of jobs in the coming years. However, care work across the world remains characterized by a void of benefits and protections, low wages or non compensation, and exposure to physical, mental, and in some cases, sexual harm. It is clear that the new solutions to care are needed on the two fronts in regards to the nature and provision of care policies and services, and the terms and conditions of care work. With the global demand for domestic workers likely to grow, the International Labour Organization steps up action to ensure they have access to decent work. ILO report Care Work and Care Jobs for the Future of Decent Work takes a comprehensive look at the unpaid and paid care work and its relationship with changing world of work. A key focus of this report is persistent gender inequalities in households and the labor market, which are inextricably linked with care work. These gender inequalities must be overcome to make care work decent and to ensure a future of decent work for both men and women. So, the International Labour Organization, ILO, will mark International Day of Care and Support 2024 by spotlighting the resolution concerning the decent work and care economy adopted by International Labour Organization by International Labour Conference in 2024. Mindful of the need to invest in the care economy and to create robust, resilient, and gender responsive, disability inclusive, and age sensitive care and support systems with full respect for human rights, with a view to recognizing, reducing, valuing, and redistributing unpaid care and domestic work and support. The General Assembly decided to proclaim 29th October as International Day of Care and Support. So it also stressed the need to recognize the value paid care work and care workers as essential workers and the need to adopt measures that combat gender stereotypes related to care and support, and as well as those related to inter alia, race, ethnicity, age, and migratory status to reduce occupational segregation for care work, facilitate the transition from informal to formal work and decent work, including with regard to the paid care and domestic work, and create domestic workers, including care workers, as well as the need to realize women's rights to work and rights at work for those with care responsibilities, including equal pay for work of equal value. So the Assembly invited stakeholders to choose the International Day of Care and Support on an annual basis in an appropriate manner in order to raise awareness of the importance of care and support and its key contributions to the achievement of gender equality and the sustainability of our societies and economies, as well as the need to invest in a resilient and inclusive care economy, including the development of strong and resilient care and support systems. So, Goal 8 SDG, decent work and economic growth. Sustainable development cannot be achieved without decent work and vice versa. Hence, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Decent Work Agenda DWA are related and mutually reinforcing. Realizing women's economic power requires transformative change so that prosperity is equitably shared and no one is left behind. The international community has made this commitment in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Every woman should enjoy her right to decent work. As a global champion for women's empowerment, UN Women asks, what do we need to get there? Let's watch a short video to understand. The nature of work. So the report, Care Work and Care Jobs for the Future of Decent Work, which has been published on 28 June 2008. This report takes a comprehensive look at unpaid and paid care work and its relationship with the changing world of work. A key focus is the persistent gender inequalities in households and labor market, which are inextricably linked with care work. This report analyzes the ways in which unpaid care work is recognized and organized, the extent and quality of care jobs, and their impact on the well being of individuals and society. A key focus of this report is persistent gender inequalities in households and the labor market, which are inextricably linked with care work. These gender inequalities must be overcome to make care work decent and to ensure a future of decent work for both women and men. This report contains a wealth of original data drawn from over 90 countries and details transformative policy measures in five main areas: care, macroeconomics, labor, social protection, and migration. It also presents projections on the potential for decent care job creation offered by remedying current care work deficits and meeting the related targets of the Sustainable Development Goals. Today is also commemorated as International Brain Tumor Awareness Week, which is celebrated from October 29 to November 5th this year. So a brain tumor is a mass or development of abnormal cells in your brain that causes symptoms such as headaches and nausea. There are several distinct forms of brain tumors. The majority of brain tumors are non-cancerous, benign, although a small number of brain tumors are cancerous, malignant. Brain tumors can start in the brain itself, or they can start in other parts of the body and spread to the brain, which is often secondary of metastatic brain tumors. The two legacy organizations, the Brain Tumor Foundation and the Brain Tumor Society, were founded in the 1980s. In 2008, the two organizations merged to become the National Brain Tumor Society, which boosted their joint efforts. The National Brain Tumor Foundation, NBTF, was founded in San Francisco in 1981 by a small group of healthcare practitioners and others whose lives have been impacted by brain tumors. The foundation's mission was to provide a comprehensive resources and support services to brain tumor community. Throughout its nearly 3 decades of operation, the group has built several significant community activities, including the first national conference for persons with brain tumors, as well as nationwide volunteer network of support. In 1989, the Brain Tumor Society, BTS, was formed in Boston. Bonnie and Sid Feldman formed the group alongside Richard B. Ross and other dedicated volunteer leaders after their son died of a brain tumor. Following its founding, the BTS was essential in garnering cash for brain tumor research grants. The BTS has supported groundbreaking research by more than 90 scientists, a who's who of brain tumor specialists. During its 20-year history, scientists were able to understand more about how brain tumors work and others treat them thanks to BTS funding. This Kelly Hayes Brunzer Foundation, a Delaware-based nonprofit dedicated to raising brain tumor awareness, amalgamated with NBTS in March 2010. 2 years after the two organizations merged, Kelly passed away in September 2004 after a year battle with a brain tumor, and KG was founded in her honor. International Brain Tumor Awareness Week was established in 1997 to educate the public and highlight the need for additional funding for brain tumor research. Seizures are often the initial indication of a brain tumor, although they might occur at any stage. If you are diagnosed, have no fear. More than 7 lakh Americans presently live with a brain tumor and is not always fatal. As with other cancers, brain and spinal cord tumors are generated by alterations in the DNA with the cells. Where orange and gray this week, it's a show of love and support for brain tumor patients worldwide. Use the hashtags brain tumor, orange and gray, brain tumor awareness week, IBTA week to post the National Brain Tumor Societies. Information or anything related to brain tumor on your online and social media, spreading awareness is paramount. Make plans to organize a fundraising walk, run, or other activity in your area. The money raised will benefit a brain tumor charity, or attend online events like this where you can gain some insights and awareness on the brain tumor day, especially. So, the brain tumors are classified into 100 different forms of primary brain tumors, each of which is a set of symptoms, therapies, and prognosis. A primary malignant brain tumor is a rare type of cancer that accounts for about 1.4% of all new cases in the US. The majority of people who are diagnosed with a primary brain tumor have no recognized risk factors. Primary brain tumors may occur at any age, although they are more frequent in children and the elderly. There are various types of primary brain cancer, and survival rates vary greatly depending on the type. International Brain Tumor Awareness Week creates awareness about the disease. This helps reduce stigma associated with the tumors. During the week, funds are raised for research into a new and more effective treatment therapies, and this is vital. The week enables the whole world to show support to the people affected by brain tumors. So join the cause. Today is also commemorated as National Cat Day in US, which is celebrated on October 29. It was created by the Colin Page to bring awareness to the number of cats that need to be rescued each year. With 40 to 70 recognized cat breeds, there is a cat for all cat lovers. Cats remind us that just when you think they lost interest in you, they will turn around and melt your hearts. So when it appears, they are too busy staring out at a passing cars, chasing nylon mice and sending tiny multicolored balls to their under the refrigerator graves. They will somehow let you know that their very world revolves around you. And it will happen when you least expect it. Cats have their own timetable. Lifestyle writer Colin Page has taken credit for establishing National Cat Day in 2005. Her stated mission to help galvanize the public to recognize the number of cats that need to be rescued each year, and also to encourage cat lovers to celebrate the cats in their lives for the unconditional love and championship they bestow upon us. We categorically believe her. She appears to love all cats, domestic and feral, and we are certainly in favor of that. Science magazine reports that cat domestication goes back 12,000 years, that encompasses a lot of toys and even more naps. The process appears to have taken place in the Middle East, like Israel, Iran, and Lebanon. Domestication did not happen overnight. Cats did not go from wild beasts to softly purring pets just sort of one day. Even in India, we see, they are part of family as a natural pest control, especially since ages. Cats and dogs and various animals like cows, hens are all part of family. They used to be in every house almost as part of sustainable development, helping each other in a having a purpose to be served, supporting each other in the family in different ways. like cows used to give milk, and used from milk, lot of products used to be made like curd, butter, ghee, and various other products, dairy products. And cow also gives dung that becomes the organic manure. The urine also becomes the organic manure, and that is also used in various medicinal purposes and for rituals. Like they are also used, this cow dung and cow urine is also used as firework or for the firewood, and it is also used as disinfectant to clean, and many more. So even when we look at the cats, they used to, you know, control the mice, rats in the locality, in the vicinity. And when we look at the dogs, they used to guard the properties. And in many ways, see, these are the primary duties. Apart from, they provide unlimited love, affection, care, and support for the family members. That is the primary thing. Apart from when we are looking at the part of economy as well, they used to support a lot, even oxes, the male cows, they used to support in transportation, in agriculture. Now that we got all these modern, uh, you know, kind of tractors and harvesters, sowers, and all. But earlier, animals were used, especially oxes, bulls were used for transport purpose and for, you know, all kind of agricultural activities and domestic activities. So they were treated part of family, and they were also taken care, because without them will not be able to complete the tasks which are intended for. So that's the tradition and cultures where we all belong to. And animals, birds have been part of us, being part of our families. Another study from University of Rome scholar Claudio Ottoni reveals that ancient sailors would bring cats along to help protect food storages on board by killing rodents. This allowed cats to spread across the world. And we are glad that they spread like dogs who get all the credit for being lovable. Cats feel everything we do. They can gauge our moods and emotions and act accordingly. They have also given up a lot of their natural cravings to live in homes and apartments, especially indoor cats. Today is also commemorated as RSPB Feed the Birds Day in UK. It is held every year in October. It falls on October 29th and is a special day that celebrates our relationship with birds and encourages more people to feed garden birds. Wild birds are important to many people in society and have an impact on our ecosystem. During this day, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, in short known as RSPB, advises people to put out food and water for the birds regularly. These can be kept in safe environments where the birds can land, rest, and replenish themselves. Birds can be in danger of malnutrition during colder months. The weather naturally limits amount of food the birds get access in the wild. Feed the Birds Day was established by the British Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, and it is a day that is dedicated to protection of birds in our environment. The organization encourages more people in the society to put out food and water to feed birds. A home garden can provide food and shelter for birds, allowing more endangered species like house sparrows to feed. Since 1979, the species population has decreased by two-thirds. Since 2004, the average number of birds visiting gardens has decreased by a fifth. The RSPB was inspired to create homes for wildlife as a result of this. The nutritional requirements of different birds vary. Birds can become endangered when they do not have enough access to the food they require. People can provide the type of food that sustainably feeds some types of birds based on their environment. The type of food that birds require would naturally attract them. The more food there is, the more birds will flock to a certain region to feed. It's critical to match the amount of bird food available to the demand. It's best to prevent leaving uneaten food to pile up near the feeders. The birds will develop accustomed to the feeding regimen if one is established. They will start to plan their visits to the garden around the schedule. Birds require high energy, high fat diets to sustain their fat reserves throughout the chilly winter months to endure the icy evenings. Birds would get the nutrients they need from high quality food and scraps, preventing them from becoming malnourished. The bird's heart beats 400 times per minute while resting and up to 1000 times per minute while flying. See how fast the heart beats in birds. The only known poisonous birds is the hooded pituhui of Papua New Guinea. Pigeons were used to convey messages from the front lines of war during both world wars. You can put out some food and water that birds can enjoy. They will be getting much needed nutrients and rest from this kind gesture. So feed some birds. Learn more about some of your favorite birds, find out their different characteristics and the issues and they face today. Beautiful birds can be seen in a variety of zoos. Spend the day with some new bird friends, feeding them and playing with them. The only way the flamingo bird can feed is with its head turned upside down. Birds descendant from the Archaeopteryx, which is the earliest known bird that lived about 147 million years ago. Birds came from the reptiles. Robins are popular. The robin is considered to be the most popular wild bird in the UK. The ostrich is the largest living bird in the world, reaching a height of up to 6.2 feet. The hummingbird is the smallest living bird in the world, measuring only 2.1 inches long. So this day contributes to the conservation of wild birds. People are made aware of the problems birds encounter and how to help them. People are more likely to help birds as a result of this day. Birds have easier access to food and water, which makes it easier for them to survive. It also helps the environment. Birds play a vital role in ecology. They aid in the maintenance of a healthy environmental balance. Protecting them continues to environmental protection. Today is also commemorated as World Stroke Day, in short known as WSO, states that 1 in 4 adults will experience a stroke in their lifetime. And that is why the official World Stroke Day is celebrated on 29th October, aims to raise awareness about the ailment worldwide. In simple words, a stroke happens when the blood supply to your brain is cut off, resulting in temporary or permanent damage to your cells. A person can recover from a stroke, but those who do not recover either suffer World Stroke Day reinforces the idea of stroke being preventable. One of the best things we can do to reduce our chances chances of getting a stroke is becoming physically active. Exercising regularly and eating or drinking right enough water will help us not to be part of 1 in 4 statistic. Strokes is number one cause of disabilities and is also the second highest reason behind people dying from a disease. The World Stroke Day celebrated the World Stroke Organization celebrated the first World Stroke Day in 2006. The organization came into being same year after the merger of the International Stroke Society and the World Stroke Federation. The WSO is a non-profit agency that works to raise awareness about strokes and help stroke survivors in getting back to their lives. In their own words, the WSO's mission is to promote research and teaching in this area that will improve the care of stroke victims. The WSO also hosts a biannual Congress workshop where to date more than 2,400 participants have learned about important skill sets in order to reach in a wider audience. The organization has set up an e-learning platform called the World Stroke Academy. Every year there's a special theme surrounding October 29. Previous year themes including Little Strokes, Big Troubles in 2008, Because I Care in 2013, Up Again After Stroke in 2018, and so on. A stroke takes place when the blood supply in the brain is cut off, either totally or partially. Because brain cells require oxygen and nutrients constantly. If the blood supply is not restored on time, the cells will start dying. This is why it is extremely important to get the patient to receive treatment as soon as you suspect stroke symptoms. The following are some telltale sign of a stroke: loss of movement, feeling, and or vision on one side of the body, combined with dizziness, confusion, and difficulty in speaking. People who smoke have high blood pressure or cholesterol, diabetes, and obesity. People with who smoke have high blood pressure or cholesterol, diabetes, and obesity are at higher risk of suffering from a stroke. You can prevent a stroke from happening by quitting tobacco consumption, alcohol consumption, eating or drinking healthy, exercising, and good care of your heart. So 10 years back, 1 in 6 people suffered from a stroke. The statistic have been reduced to 1 in 4 in 2021. This risk has increased, so you need to become proactive in saving your own life starting now. Cut down on alcohol and smoking, eat and drink healthy, fresh foods, and exercise on the regular. While you may be doing all the right things, it is still good practice to get regularly checked on by your physician. Have your cholesterol and blood pressure levels checked or monitor them yourself. There's nothing better than catching a problem early on getting preventive treatment. Inform your family and friends about the importance of taking care of animals against strokes. Educate everyone on what should be done when they think someone is having a stroke. Learn the acronym FAST: facial weakness, arm weakness, speech disability, time loss in brain loss. Call based on your helplines, either 100, 102, 103, 108, or in US 911, or whichever country you are. Kindly be aware of the numbers when these symptoms are prevalent and don't wait. Half the people who have suffered from a stroke at the age of 65 or above will have to live with a long term disability for the rest of their lives. The worldwide increase in the obesity has led to 12% increase in stroke incidents in 15 years. With increased awareness and improved treatment, many patients are treated earlier and thus have a greater chance of recovery than previously. Treatments with blood thinners. So treatments with blood thinners minimize brain damage in stroke patients. Around 66% of the time, an onlooker will get a treatment plan started for a patient suffering from a stroke. Strokes can be very dangerous if not prevented or left untreated. Even a slight delay in getting the right treatment can result in catastrophic changes to a person's life. Such changes would usually impact their socio-economic situations, will also have an impact on their families. It's important to learn about strokes and the ways we could stop them from happening. Strokes are not a joke or a passing moment. They can be extremely devastating as they have the ability to leave you crippled or take your life. Make the decision to start day of your healthy living so that you can avoid this. Illness can not only rob us of our health, but they can also steal the precious moments in life that everyone cherishes, be it a graduation, wedding, anniversary, or birthday, all these important milestones. Today is also commemorated as World Psoriasis Day, which shines a light on challenges faced by those suffering from psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. Psoriasis is a disease that results from an overactive immune system and is evidenced by rashes on the skin. While most immune systems take 30 or so days to push new cells to the skin, those with psoriasis push new cells within 2 or 3 days. On World Psoriasis Day, Psoriasis Association strive to spread information about the condition and improve access to treatment. The International Federation of Psoriasis Associations, IFPA, represents the world presents World Psoriasis Day to recognize those with psoriasis and or psoriatic arthritis, and it has been both doctors and patients have misunderstood psoriasis for centuries. While able to isolate the symptoms, the most respected medical minds of ancient times still remain baffled. Hippocrates finally replaced superstition with knowledge in breaking skin ailments by introducing tar into the mix. However, he also prescribed tropical arsenic. The Greek physician Galen identified psoriasis as a skin disease through clinical observation and was the first to label it as psoriasis. But along with the arsenic, he suggested applying both in The Greek physician Galen identified psoriasis as a skin disease through clinical observation and was the first to label it as psoriasis. But along with the arsenic, he suggested applying broth, which is a viper, had been boiled. The condition, often mixed up with skin disorders believed contagious, led to the confusion of leprosy, blamed the Old Testament, and its accompanying social stigma. The condition, often mixed up with skin disorders believed contagious, led to the confusion with leprosy. As per the National Psoriasis Foundation's Ellen Seddon, treatment includes lubricating the skin, wrapping the body in sheets for days to create an occlusion cover to loosen scales. Popular appreciation. Today is also commemorated as National Indigenous Peoples Thanksgiving Day in Philippines, which is observed on October 29th every year and is a day to honor and promote hundreds of thousands of indigenous people who live in the Philippines archipelago's highlands. This day honors all indigenous people in the country who have been granted civil and human rights. The indigenous peoples of the Philippines were valiant people who, despite their traditional customs, were able to resist colonization for both. The Popular Republic Act enacted by President Fidel V. Ramos in 1997 sparked the first commemoration of National Indigenous Peoples Thanksgiving Day. This act recognized and supported the rights of all indigenous peoples in the Philippines, as well as allowing them to control their affairs. 4 years later, the Philippines' new president decided to create a whole new day, dedicating to the acknowledging indigenous peoples and providing them with government support. An act based on the Republic Day, the president proclaimed October 29th, 2003 as the National Indigenous Peoples Thanksgiving Day, and the same day every year thereafter. So, to further bolster her commitment to ensuring fair treatment, today is also commemorated as National Hermit Day in US, can get away from it all and de-stress by spending some time on your own to recharge. Hermits, by definition, are the people who prefer seclusion to socialization. They spend their lives living separated from the rest of the world. Traditionally, hermits choose their lifestyle because of religious reasons. Their days are filled with religious prayers, invoking the deities, and just musing on their general philosophy of life. Some famous While living as a hermit started as a religious choice for many, there came a time in history when keeping hermits in your gardens or sprawling estates became fashionable. One prominent example is of Charles Hamilton, the son of 6th Earl of Abercorn. In the 1700s, he was building gardens at his home in Surrey, and the perfect addition to his landscape would be religious hermit. He placed advertisement for the applicants, offering them pay food and shelter, and all the exchange of 7 year service, which would entirely be spent in seclusion in his garden estate. These were called ornamental hermits. So, with this, we shall end today's commemorations, and we invite the presenters who have registered for presentations can share your details in the chat box so that we can invite you. All these sessions are live on YouTube, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will be notified whenever a new video is being added. There are no further presentations. We can conclude it here. And we thought we will be having an exclusive session on animal laws, and we have been organizing. So we will also soon have a dedicated session for various other themes. So we will intimate you to keep checking website. On the website, you will find the details and you can join and get all the details. With this, we thank each and everyone for joining us through participation and presentations and spending your valuable time and resources attending, participating in this conference. And we also wish you all happy Deepavali. And may today is also Lord Dhanvantari Jayanti. This is the god of Ayurveda. And may Lord Dhanvantari bless us all with health, wealth, prosperity. So tomorrow we are having a seminar on mental health. Those who would like to make presentations related to health or those who could not present in this conference can utilize that opportunity if it is relevant. So see you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.